Hey guys, welcome to the Pack-a-Punch Reviews video, and today I'm going to be doing a commentary on Sonic the Hedgehog 2. Now, this is not a live Let's Play, it's a post-commentary, so I've already recorded the footage off my DVD recorder. If you've checked out my channel, I did a test run and it proved to be a good success, so now we're going to be using it now for future Let's Plays. Starting off with Sonic the Hedgehog 2. Often viewed as the best Sonic game in the series, and that's something I can definitely agree with. It's my second favourite Sonic game of all time, behind Sonic 3 Knuckles. So this is like the sound test menu, where you can choose either you want to play as Sonic and Tails, or Sonic alone, or Tails alone, and you've also got multiplayer features, but that'll be it for another time. Just for now, I'm doing post commentary. So this is Emerald Hill Zone, the first zone in Sonic the Hedgehog 2. If you're familiar with Sonic 1, then this is pretty much Green Hill Zone, only a lot more colourful, a lot more greener, and well, a hell of a lot faster. Now, if you look carefully, Sonic has the shield like before, but for some reason my video compression has somehow managed to envelop Sonic into this blue bubble. I think I had the same problem that some other certain YouTube user had. I'm not going to tell you what it's called, some call me Johnny. Anyway, so yeah, there's a couple of new features that have been incorporated into Sonic 2. You've got you've got a new sidekick known as Tails, or Miles Tails Prower, his full name is. And you can actually control it with a second controller, but for now I'm only doing it alone. And I've already recorded footage and I've already beaten the game, but I'm just showing you the entire game through the perspective that I'm giving to you. So if you get 10,000 points or more, you actually get to continue, unlike the last game. So the points do a lot more in this game. Get 50,000 points and you get an extra life. Another new feature is the spin dash, where if Sonic holds down and then if you mash the jump button while doing it, Sonic will rev up the spin dash and go at an incredibly quick speed, which is really good fun, and also very useful as well for getting up steep inclines. So yeah, again, the ring boxes returned from Sonic 1. They work exactly the same like before, you know, speed shoes, ring boxes. Ring boxes give you 10 rings. Shield works exactly the same as it did. So, unlike past Sonic games, you got checkpoints. But I'll mention the checkpoints later anyway. This is the first boss in Sonic 2. Eggman or Robotnik should I say rather, as he was called in this game until Sonic Adventure, I think, where he got called Eggman for some reason, because of the egg carrier he had. But anyway, Eggman was called Eggman in Japan. His first machine he tries to kill you with is this vehicle which has this drill on the front. It's really easy in the end because you can just jump on top of him and avoid the drill together completely. I mean, he will shoot that drill at the end, but once you jump on him, that's it. For the first boss anyway. And like Sonic 1, you end the level, well, the second act of Sonic 2, you end the level by opening a capsule containing full of animals. And, well, speaking of, that Sonic 2 now has 2 acts per zone rather than 3 acts per zone, but in actuality the zones themselves can be a lot longer than the ones from Sonic the Hedgehog 1. And the level design is a lot more non-linear in terms of overall structure. I mean, you've still got the linear get from point A to point B, but the level design has some shortcuts that you can take. So it's kind of, in a way, you still have to get from point A to point B, but getting from point A to point B is entirely how you do it. So yeah, this is Chemical Plant Zone, probably one of my favourite zones in Sonic the Hedgehog 2. forgot to mention the music in Emerald Hill Zone is pretty damn awesome, and this soundtrack's really good as well. Because it's really fast and levels really well designed. In fact, there's loads of shortcuts that you can take in the game, and actually I haven't discovered all of them yet. First act's not that long. The second act is where I start mucking around really, but so anyway, see that spin dash there, just give you a good burst of speed and really exhilarating. So, but anyway, that's the end of Act 1 of Sonic 2. Yeah, like I said, 10,000 points or more at the end of each act gives you an automatic continue. So this is the second act of Chemical Plant Zone. Probably my favourite of the two acts in Chemical Plant Zone. You roll up here and go to the left where I just gone, and you can get extra lives there. There's plenty of hidden extra lives in the game, so I'm pretty sure if you find all these extra lives, then you won't have much of a bother getting to the end of the game. Well, that's for the future parts. Weirdly, now that video compression frame rate has now got the shield. Oh, my bad. That's weird. That shield was surrounding Sonic, and now it's completely engulfed Sonic. God, my compression frame rate needs hell of a lot of working on if I can fix the kinks out, but yeah, some of the music you may notice during the post commentary will slow down a bit. That's because I'm using 58Z. Well, if you know what I'm talking about. If you don't know what I'm talking about, just ignore me for the next bit. But if you know what I'm talking about, basically my DVD recorder at the moment, I don't know how to record 68Z because, I mean, I can record it, but the picture's really flickery and looks very bad. So I'm sticking with 58Z, and it looks pretty good anyway. But anyway, now it's time for the special stages. I'm only doing one in the entire game because I've never been able to do all of them. So anyway, the special stages are radically different from the first Sonic game. Instead of going through a trippy acid maze, you now have to go through this half pipe and collect rings. A specific number of rings to get past the goal and collect more, and then eventually acquire the Chaos Emerald. Pretty straightforward, apart from the fact that you've got to have a lot of memory in getting all the special stages right, because it can get pretty annoying sometimes. If I'm honest, I don't really like these special stages. I mean, the first one's alright, but the others I can't really be bothered to do because I think they're a bit too hard. But yeah, there's mines in the way, so if you touch them you'll lose a lot of rings as well. If you're planning on getting the Chaos Emeralds, which there's 7 of them in this game and not 6. I mean, there was 6 in Sonic 1, but now there's 7 in this game. But another Chaos Emerald's been added to give you a surprise, which gives Sonic the ability to transform into a super form called Super Sonic. And he pretty much breaks the game, and he's pretty damn good. He's faster than normal Sonic, and, well, he's invincible, and can jump a hell of a lot faster. But anyway, that's the only Chaos Emerald I'm getting. After you get enough rings, you get the Chaos Emerald. And at the end you're awarded a certain amount of points, and for some reason the game glitched on me. So yeah, the enemies in this game are pretty much like the ones from Sonic 1 in a way that they can be annoying in terms of placement, but that's really about it. They're not really that much of a threat. It's only later on where the enemies get a bit more deadly. Oh yeah, if you jump into that pink water, you can actually gain an extra life if you're prepared to. This section is probably the worst underwater section in my opinion in Sonic 2. Mainly because, well, it's not that hard, but if you're a beginner, you're going to struggle to get out of there. I can guarantee it. And this was where I started to faff around a bit and end up, I mean, you can do this with a spin dash jump and get a shortcut. The problem is I overshot myself and fell through the opening platform, so I had to do it again. Second time I did it, well, it's coming up now actually. So yeah, if you look at, I'm in the pink water now, trying to get back out, and well, I've spent a bit too time in the water. See, if you notice, the music's slowed down, obviously because it's 58C. Yeah, that is the European version. So I am technically European, but I always play this game on 68Z. But for recording purposes, I stuck it on 58Z. And again, I just screwed up really badly. God's sake. So yeah, this section right here, as I've just mentioned, can get a bit annoying if you're a beginner, and you'll end up losing a lot of lives. But honestly, it's not that hard. Just showed you the short way to get across, and now I'm showing you the more safer option, which I just did. I just wished at that time those platforms would just hold up. So yeah, this game also introduces us to speed boosters, which caused quite a lot of controversy, I have to admit. Mainly because I'm not really sure, to be perfectly honest. The other thing I don't like about speed boosters is that in Sonic 4, they pretty much don't make you go faster at all. Whereas in this they do, and you can actually outrun the screen, which is pretty fun, really good fun. And I don't really need to describe the boss there because that was just too easy. You can just jump on him 8 times and he'll die. Or do, should I say rather. He'll try to dump chemicals on you, but if you jump above the chemicals, if you jump when the chemicals are being dumped on you, I think you can dodge them altogether, should I say rather. So yeah. Alright, so that's the end of Chemical Plant Zone, and now we have what is the underwater level of Sonic the Hedgehog 2, Aquatic Ruin Zone. A pretty damn good level as well, mainly because you can actually avoid the water if you're that good. Just basically take the top route. The bottom route is, well, just don't bother try going up with the bottom route because you'll probably end up drowning if you're a beginner. However, if you can take the underwater route, then by all means take it. So yeah, music's pretty damn good here as well. There's a hell of a lot I can say that I love about Sonic 2. The soundtrack, the level design, and the fact that it really shows what a good sequel can do. Take out most of the flaws that plagued the first game and add new quirks and gimmicks that don't completely change the formula, but give it a fresh new feel to it, and as a result, it's a really good game. So yeah, I failed at that point there. Now I had to go underwater here. If you want to survive underwater, just make sure you get quite a lot of air bubbles, because, well, if you don't, you could end up drowning. I mean, I could just skip that water bubble because we're not far to the end of the goal, but I don't want to do that in case I drown. So yeah, we get introduced to Grounder, one of the enemies, the pink robot with the drill on its nose. Yeah, if you're familiar with the adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog, then you're pretty much gonna be familiar with that type of enemy. Except in this game they don't talk, thank God. So yeah, that's the end of Act 1 of Aquatic Ruin Zone. Now on to the second act. this section, most of these sections, if you notice the trees, you've got Robotnik's face in there, sorry, and he'll shoot, and it shoots out these spears at you, which is pretty easy to dodge if you know what to do. Spring pads, there's a lot of spring pads here in this zone, like chemical plant zone, so they'll jump you all over the place. Rolling in this game is just as effective as it was in Sonic 1, because if you plan to gain momentum, then rolling's still pretty damn good fun, and it still takes out enemies pretty easily, and which I didn't do there, and I screwed up a bit slightly. But yeah, rolling is just as much fun as it was in Sonic 1, if not more fun. See, I'm taking the bottom set. See, I'm taking now. Well, I took the bottom section for some reason, maybe because I just fell off. So yeah, Sonic jumps off the spring pads. Booyah! I hate those little enemies. Just really do my head in sometimes, and there are a swarm of them, so they can get a tad annoying. So now we're on to the boss of Aquatic Ruin Zone, and it's again not too difficult. If you stand on these pillars here, which I've stood on now, or did stand on, and basically you take out Robotnik with ease. Just jump. Yeah, at that point I failed and just did it the normal way. You see those pillars will shoot out those spears that the statues did in the trees, should I say rather, sorry. But yeah, if you jump on those, they actually form as temporary platforms, and you can jump above and get Robotnik from there. I keep getting confused with Eggman and Robotnik for some reason. Oh god. But anyway, that's the end of Aquatic Ruin Zone, and now we have Casino Night Zone. A really, really good level. Really, probably the best looking level in the game. You know, in terms of aesthetics, it looks really colourful and really awesome in terms of detail and overall background structure. And it's also, again, a really good soundtrack. And there's hardly any enemies, so it's kind of easier than Chemical Plant and Aquatic Ruin Zone in a way, but in a way, the only real time you'll end up having bothered with enemies is either they've been either placed cheaply or you just weren't very good at the game. So yeah, Casino Night Zone introduces us to the slot machines, which eventually would be incorporated into future Sonic games. You know, Sonic CD, they had a pinball style boss, and this zone pretty much uses the same gimmicks as that of Spring Yard Zone. You know, the pinball flippers, and obviously Sonic Spinball that came out during that time period. Actually, I think it came out the same year Sonic CD did. Yeah, it did, 1993. And of course, in Sonic the Hedgehog 3 and Knuckles, the special stages were pretty much like the Acid Maze Trip from Sonic 1, but with the pinball gimmicks and the gambling, Casino Night Zone gambling gimmicks. Pretty good special stages as well. So yeah, in this zone you've got springs and bumpers and flippers, and to be perfectly honest, it's not really much of a big deal. If you're planning to get to the end of the goal, it's a pretty short level. Well, not as short as the first couple of zones, but short in its own right. There's actually the slots machines, as I've just mentioned. You can actually garner some rings if you want to you want to have a crack at it. Personally, I didn't bother. Don't know why, but yeah. So now we have the second act of Sonic the Hedgehog 2. Okay, we're just going to the right now. Boing. Wow. See, rolling and jumping at the same time gets you a huge amount of height, and it's a really good way of getting to platforms that you missed or tried to get to. This bit was glitching me up slightly because I didn't know how to get that invisibility box for some reason. Or was trying but couldn't get it. So yeah, the invincibility box and the speed shoes return, and well, everything works the same as before. Sonic kinda looks different in this game to his Sonic 1 counterpart. And I think that it's probably better lighting if something like that. I'm not really sure. Extra life. There's a lot of extra lives, and if you can't see the life count, it's on 9. And I haven't died. I didn't really die until later on, where I really started to slacken a bit and really start to hit my talent barrier. Oh yeah, I just forgot to mention that getting all the 7 Chaos Emeralds gets you the good ending. So, but I'm getting the bad ending, because the bad ending, in my opinion, I'm pretty sure there's a lot of other people who think as well that the bad ending is better. But yeah, I think the reason why you're probably hearing those rings, and the reason why you're hearing different kind of ring sound effects from left to right is because, well, the sounds in surround. If I'm honest, I think it is anyway. I'm not sure. But yeah, Sonic 2, in my opinion, is a really good looking game. And Sonic and all the levels in this game are pretty good to look at as well. So, not really much else to say really, because, well, it improves tremendously from Sonic 1. It's my second favourite Sonic game of all time, and well, what else do I need to say about it, because it's a really, really good game. Okay, so now this is the boss fight in Casino Night Zone. Robotnik will try and kill you with this machine that drops these spiky balls on top of you. They're really easy to dodge if you know what you're doing. There's a tactic that I'm trying to use now, the rolling method. Roll and then jump at a certain incline. Really good stuff. Really good tactic of beating Robotnik. Yeah, and I almost fucked it up completely. God, I managed to beat the boss there with no rings at the end. Started to slacking up a bit, but anyway, I shall see you guys for part 2 of the Sonic the Hedgehog 2 playthrough, or post commentary should I say rather. Next up is Hilltop Zone. Thanks for watching, I'll see you guys then.